It's never been easier to purchase Ielts books with the show. Just go to tiki.vn, and with just one mouse click, you'll be able to find the perfect Ielts books you've been waiting for. Purchase anywhere and receive discounts. Go to tiki.vn and buy.
Let's go.
Em đã xem IELTS Face On bao giờ đâu. Em còn chẳng biết IELTS là cái gì đấy này.
Next. You. Next. Next.
Anh đã mãi không sai, anh đã mất cái tiền. Surprise.
Next. Oh, it's you.
What are you even doing here, girl? I need to know my clue. Do you have any clues for me?
Oh, you. It's you. Congratulations. You got the role.
That's not the clue. Me is not a clue.
It's you.
Wait a minute. I think it's giving me the clue. I think it's about people calling shots. If it's about people calling shots, it's probably a leader in the film industry or commercials, and the person will decide big decisions. I think that's a clue. Let's see if I'm right.
Hello, I'm Jenni Trang Lê. I moved to Vietnam in 2009 to pursue filmmaking. At that point, I had gone back and forth for like 5 years or so since The Rebel in 2005. And then I just sort of meant to come to stay in Vietnam for 1 year, but now it's been 9.5 years. So I've been really fortunate to be able to live and love and create in Vietnam.
Yes! Oh, Jenni is my favorite person. We've known each other for a couple of years now, and I'm so excited to finally be able to interview her. Let's go! We're in the studio, and I think our guest is right there. Hi,
Hello.
honey.
Hi,
How are
sweetie.
you?
How are you?
I'm good. You look fantastic.
Thank you. So you very glamorous.
Oh, thank you. Let's have our glamour seats.
Okay.
So are you ready to face off?
Yes.
All right, let's face off. Well, this is our IELTS Face Off studio, and our guest today is our fabulous Jenni Trang Lê. And
Hello.
We've known each other for a while, but I think there are a couple of things I haven't been able to ask you, personally. So we're going to make use of that opportunity today.
Let me have it.
Okay. I've seen you in work before. Like your work personality and your in like real life personality are quite different. You know, like you're super chill, in real life, but in work you're like really, really, really strict. Yeah.
Am I?
Yes. Remember that time?
I'm known as more of a nice producer.
That means the other producers are even stricter.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. Remember we were talking about this music person who was creating songs, and then the music person didn't have like a name card, and you're like, if you want to be in this business, you have to at least start having a name card, girl.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. No, I definitely have certain very strong opinions of certain things. That's true. The fact that the Vietnamese film industry has grown very rapidly in the last few years is a great thing. The bad thing is that the demand is really high, and the people that are experienced or good are not meeting the demand. And so there's people who just came into the business and are like, heading projects and it's like crazy, or like directors who have never directed anything narrative, suddenly doing a whole feature and thinking that it's then investors putting in money and thinking that it's easy and they just do whatever. And it's, in the States, you have to pay your dues. You have to like start working for free. You have to intern. You have to like learn as much as you can. I mean, even for me now, I've been in the industry in Vietnam like over 10 years, and I still feel like I'm learning. My whole thing is that when I meet young filmmakers, they just want to come in and they want to do the, and I just say, no, just take a seat back. Just be on a project where you're like picking up trash and like, telling people to be quiet and like, giving actors water bottles, and like, you learn a lot.
You're the person that calls the shot for a lot of the film production. You select the actresses, actors.
I wouldn't say that. A lot of people ask, oh, what does a producer do? But like, basically, a producer makes it happen. So if somebody has come up with an idea and they want to make a certain film, and then they hire a producer to make it happen. So that is the kind of producer that I've mostly been in Vietnam. There's also the producer that has an idea and then gets everybody on board, and then it's their ideas. So in terms of creativity, I use the creativity to make it happen and to like add to it, but I didn't come up with it. But I could come up with it, and that's kind of like my future thing. So I definitely have ideas that I really want to do and projects that I want to start. A film a film crew can be like 100 people. It's on average about 80 to 100. So if you can imagine, it takes a lot to make a movie happen, you know? So when I come in, when it is the beginning stages in the sense that maybe only the investors are aboard and the director, and that's it, you know? And then I come in and it's like, okay, who are we gonna get to do art? Who are we gonna get to do lighting? Who are we gonna get to do this logistics? And then, okay, we start the casting process, and then I do a lot of casting, and so it's a lot of like, okay, who can we get to play this and that? And then, of course, like in the end, it has to be a group decision. But for sure, like, you know, I think because of experience and whatnot, then my opinion weighs, you know. But
have you ever made the wrong decisions?
So there was a film. My executive producer told me that we're going to be doing the next film from this director. And I didn't know this director, and I had never worked with him, but I knew his first film. And his first film was about a gay guy and a tomboy girl who are best friends, and then the gay guy falls for the girl and is cured of being gay.
Oh my gosh, what?
So first of all, many problems with this kind of storyline, and then I also didn't like the movie at all. For me, I was just like, okay, I can't work with this guy. You know, my boss was like, oh, you know, you have to do it, and like, please do it for me, and you know, like, I really believe in it. I think it's going to be a good project. And I was like, okay, but it's one of those moments where I just had to do it. And then I was not surprised when the film ended up being one of the hardest films that I've worked on. So this is, I always say this when I do my lectures, is that, you know, a producer is also kind of like a you know, therapist. You're about putting the oil into the machine so that it runs smoothly. Of course, you want the film to be great, but you also want the journey to be smooth. So when like actors don't like each other, when like this crew member or that crew member don't like each other, when, you know, you're the person that comes out and tries to, you know, we're humans and we're with each other. I mean, when you shoot a film, it's like 6 days a week, you know, 12 to 18 hours a day. So of course, it's really easy to take things personally. You know, I think that as a producer, you have to be able to like step away from that a little bit, and that's what I've learned over the years. When I first started making films, I was like crying every day. You know, it's very normal. It's very normal. But like, because once you realize that like when you make a mistake, it's not because you are a bad person. It just you made a mistake, and I think that it's a lesson that's very hard to learn. You know, so
it's great. Well, you really is, you know, làm dâu chăm họ.
Exactly.
So, as a woman, you know, you did say that being a woman in Vietnam is really hard. How are you now able to be a woman in Vietnam and in film?
Yes. Well, you know, I've never really been put in that position of like, oh, you're a woman, so you can't do it. So I've been really fortunate. But I think it's because I'm a pretty confident person, so that even though people like say, you know, shitty things to me, I still am like, okay, whatever. You know, like I'll confront it if I need to. It's like, so I have one story during the Rebels, 2005. One of the lighting guys or something remarked about my weight. And this time I was like, okay, I'm gonna say something. So I was like, excuse me? In Vietnamese.
And everybody was there to listen.
And everybody was, yes. I decided to say in the middle of the crew, like everybody heard, right?
Nice.
And I was like, excuse me, why did you call me fat? And he's like, oh, you know, I'm just kidding, you know, like, and I'm like, no, but you said it. And he's like, yeah, but I mean, you're chubby, you know, like, and then I'm like, but why would you say that to me? And he's like, I'm just kidding, like, why are you making a big deal? And I'm like, but I don't like it, and I don't think it's funny. I'm like, do you think it's funny? You know, and then I was like, you know what, women should be called beautiful and cute and smart, but not fat. Like, what is the purpose? Because it's making me sad, you know. And then are you trying to make me sad? He goes, no, I'm not trying to make you sad. And I was like, if we were in America, and you called a girl like fat, it's like you would never get a date, okay? And so I'm just letting you know that I understand that we're in Vietnam, and I understand that a lot of people are okay with it. I'm letting you know that I'm not okay with it. And I was like, I don't like to be called fat, so if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. And everyone's like,
woohoo, I love that. Well, so let's go on to the Ielts challenge, shall we?
Yes.
All right, Ielts face-off challenge coming right up next. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna take Jenni on a ride. This is the Ielts Face-Off Challenge, and today we have our lovely friend Jenni. And Jenni is going to be acting out a couple of personalities, and let's put her acting skills to the test.
okay.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the first character. The first character is a person who's extremely bimbo, a bimbotic woman.
Okay, so I think that this place is super cool. It's so big. Like, I thought that like when you were on television, the television's really small. So like where you shoot it should be really small. I don't know why it's so big. Like, why?
Woohoo! You're gonna get a lot of people talking. Okay, what about a bee, but a really powerful bee?
This place is ridiculous. I think that you need to change that, change that, change that, paint the walls. You know, we need to fire him, we need to fire him, we need to hire her. You know, we need to do a whole overhaul, otherwise this is not gonna work.
Wow, okay.
Yesterday actually.
Well, you're still really nice. Still really nice.
Oh, am I?
Superman, in Jenni style.
So, you need some jars to open?
Yes, please.
I can do it in like 2 shakes. Here you go.
Thank you, darling. Cheesy Vietnamese girl. Bánh bèo, sến bánh bèo.
Oh,
bánh bèo sến.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So like, you know, do you come here a lot?
Yeah, I work here.
Oh wow, that's so great. You're so pretty.
Well, thank you.
Everything you do is so, no, but you're like, I've been following you on Facebook and everything you say is so smart.
Do you have a lot of sugar jars at home?
I do, a lot.
Do you eat sugar?
I don't eat them because, you know, it makes you fat.
All right, that's fantastic. Thank you so
You're
much
welcome.
for coming by. All right, well, guys, this is the end of our section with Jenni, but you'll always be able to see her or see her products, so make sure you check them out. And we're gonna have our IELTS expert section coming right up next, so please don't go anywhere. You'll get some really good tips.
Next, IELTS on the go, and our brand new, freshly young host, Nguyễn Thảo Tâm, will have an interesting talk with a group of high schoolers from one of the most prestigious schools in Ho Chi Minh City. We'll also share with you many wonderful life stories and English approaching with you. And as usual, when all the guys are great, it is really hard to choose the one who will represent Voice of this week. Who will be that person? But wait, let's get to the studio first with Phoebe and our brand new IELTS expert, Benjamin Echorn. Right now.
With studying for the IELTS, a good prep book is a must.
IELTS books are rare to find, mostly out of stock, overpriced.
Well, but do you know there's a wealth of IELTS prep materials on tiki.vn? Ordering is a breeze, shipping is lightning fast, and they have tons of promotions to get you that sweet, sweet savings. Getting IELTS prep materials has never been easier, so log on to tiki.vn today.
We're back with our IELTS expert, and our IELTS expert today is Ben.
Yay,
Welcome.
hello again.
Yay, I love your shirt today.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you know, today it's perfect because, you know, our topic today is women calling the shots.
Yes.
We're going to be talking a lot more about that later. But we also have one amazing woman, Thảo Tâm. She's going to take us to Ho Chi Minh City, and she's going to show us some really, really great people.
All right, great. Let's watch her.
Okay, Thảo Tâm, take it away on IELTS on the go.
Hello Phoebe, hi studio, and we're here again today in Ho Chi Minh City on a very rainy day. But we're going to have an interview with 3 very talented people, so let's go. Let them introduce themselves.
Hello everyone, I am Ngọc Minh, and this year I'm going to literature class in Phổ Thông Nghiên Cứu School.
Hello, and I'm Phương Nghi. I'm one of the students at High School for the Gifted. I'm in the advanced English class, and this is my friend He.
Hi guys, I'm He, and actually one of the classmates also my major is English at High School for the Gifted.
So we have 3 budding, aspiring people from our High School from the Gifted. Now, as a student from the High School of the Gifted, do you feel a certain type of pressure placed upon you?
A lot of pressures when we take the advanced class of English, such as like you got to do a lot of tests or conduct a lot of research, and we got a lot of expectations from our parents and also like the teacher. Yeah, so that got a lot of pressures on the students from the class of exams.
So he and nghĩ, you guys are in 11th grade, right? So according to he, that's a lot of pressure. So after 1 year in our school, what are some of the coping mechanisms you have developed to deal with the stress?
Honestly, I haven't decided which way to cope with the stress yet because I'm always under pressure. Because I always set goals for myself and I will tend to feel like disappointed if I cannot achieve it.
So as you've listened from he and nghĩ, do you feel like a certain type of pressure when you enter the school?
When I first took the entrance exam, I feel like there are very many talented people. I somehow feel a lot of stress. However, when I talk to my friends, I realize that I can be better than most of people. So I think that going to high school for the gifted will be the new experience for me. So no stress.
No stress. That's cool. Okay, so you guys all chose very advanced courses, which is English and literature. What do you think are the driving forces towards that decision?
When I was like a 2 or 3 year old.
2 or 3 years old?
Yeah. My parents realized that I have a talent for learning foreign languages.
Wow.
So they sent me to an international primary school. I studied there for 4 years and then I moved to Vietnamese school. And in grade 9, just last year, I was the championship in the Internet Olympic.
So she's a die-hard English fan, you guys, and very admirable.
Thank you.
And how about you and your path with literature?
For me, I think literature is a really good subject. Many people don't really like the literature because it's kind of boring. However, for me, I think literature gives you lots of moral lessons and also very enthusiastic.
Okay, so one very important thing and one very special segment we have on Ielts on the Go is that we're going to offer one of you the opportunity to take a real-time Ielts speaking test. Okay, so you guys discuss with each other and find out who's going to be the one taking the test, okay? I'll leave it to you guys. Okay, so they're discussing amongst themselves right now. So it's either gonna be 2 of our lovely ladies or 1 of our very handsome men. So who do you think it's gonna be? Let's go find out. Okay. So I'm back. He is gonna be you?
Take another guess.
Me? Oh, so it's gonna be our lovely Ning. Let's go. I'll take you to it.
So Thảo Tâm has selected a person to participate in our challenge. Her name is Ngọc Minh. So are you ready to face off with Ngọc Minh?
Yes, here we go.
Here comes our voice of this week. Finally, Ngọc Minh. This girl is from literature major class, but decided to challenge herself in the real-time speaking test. We wonder, will our IELTS expert be gentle, answer? And next, you can't miss the useful tips for this week. How to practice and improve your reading skill. Simply by reading every day. More details about these tips will be provided by our lovely expert in the studio. And in Book of the Week, we will bring you a book named High Scoring IELTS Writing Model Answers. So don't go anywhere. The next part of the show is coming right now.
Hello, my name is Ben Eichhorn. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My name is Hoàng Thị Ngọc Minh.
We'll start with part 1. Let's talk about weekends. How important is it to have free time at the weekends?
I think to have free time at the weekend is really essential because after a long day of working and studying hard, you should have some rest to boost your energy and also to spend more time going on holiday with the one you love and do things you like.
Now we're going to move on to part 2. In this part, you have 1 minute to prepare and then you'll talk for 1 to 2 minutes. But don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. I'd like you to describe a film or TV program which has made a strong impression on you.
Avatar is an action and psychology movie, and I watched it with my parents when I was in grade 3. So The movie is about a science group which is searching for another kind of species which is living on another planet. The special thing about the species is that it has green skin and really look like human. And a lot of things happen after that, but the most thing that impressed me is that, firstly, that is the first 3D movie I've ever seen with my parents. It's really enthusiastic. The feelings I had when I was in the theater is really natural and true. It was amazing. Secondly, my friends, I used to have a really long hair, and my friends used to tell me that I really look like an Avatar character because my hair is really long. For me, it's a really good movie. It has many messages which hidden in the movie, and I love to spend time watching movies with my family again. In the future, I think that I'll convince my parents to hang out again, especially in movie theaters, because the atmosphere is really great, and I hope my parents will have some rest after a long working day.
Now we'll move on to part 3. Well, I'll ask you some questions related to the topic you talked about in part 2. How important do you think it is for a filmmaker to remain true to the original story?
I think it depends on the genre of the movie. If it is like a movie with hidden messages, I think we can change some of the events actually happen in real life, as long as you can deliver the message to the audience. If they are movies which require the exact information, I think we should really keep the real life events so the accuracy is needed.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test.
Thank you.
Whoa. Oh, she's back. Hi. So, how do you think you did on the test?
I think I did very great. It's not that bad. I think I really showed my opinions well. I think I'll get great marks.
So, thank you very much for your self-assessment, and we're going to take it to the assessment of our expert.
So Ben,
yes.
What do you think of Ngọc Minh's performance?
Well, overall, she was a strong candidate, kept going, kept speaking really well. In part 2, there were some pauses where she struggled a little, but big thing here is it didn't affect my understanding. It wasn't pauses that significantly made her message hard to follow. And actually, at the start, part 2, she did something interesting. She used a tag question. Now, that's quite rare, actually. You don't often get people do that. Maybe worth something to try. In terms of her vocabulary, she had some nice expressions like lends me an ear, and she also talked about hidden messages sometimes. Though there were some strange things she said as well. She said psychology movie, and she also talked a bit about a working day or after a hard working day. And I never say that really myself. With grammar, she did make present perfect errors. She said the first 3D movie I've ever seen, when it would be better to say the first movie I ever had the chance to see. That would be a better expression. What she needs to do now is think about using it to connect with the meaning of what she's saying. There's still a little bit of disconnection between those things, and that's the next level up to become really advanced.
Fantastic.
Thank you guys so much for being with us here today. And as a small gift from VTV7 and the British Council, we have 30 hours of learning English online, free for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for appearing with us here today. And well, that's it for IELTS on the go. But coming up next is the tip and tips section. So stay tuned.
So we do have some tips for this week. The reading tip for this week is to read every day.
Yes.
What comments do you have on this tip?
Reading in a foreign language is often challenging. It requires you to sit down and be thinking and considering what the words mean, and sometimes you won't always get the deeper message. Persistence, I'd say, is the biggest thing, but then sometimes just reading and trying to get the overall understanding of the passage is the most important thing, and then you'll be able to get more context out of what you're reading. And then also reading at times to get an overall better vocab is another technique you can use, but that is more time consuming and thought consuming. So doing both of those things really helps.
I think reading is a very challenging exercise because it's kind of one way. You know, you don't have people interacting with you, you don't have people giving you feedback. All you do is like you interact with the book and you kind of have to analyze everything on your own.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's a very, very brain intensive exercise.
Yeah, definitely. At the same time, by reading in English, that gives you the opportunity to read so many more books that maybe have not been translated into Vietnamese.
Oh, that's fantastic. Guys, we have our weekly book recommendation. Please check out this week's recommendation for your IELTS study books.
This book, which is published locally by Jenni offers 79 test questions with 4 model answers. The model essays are very good quality and would get high scores in the IELTS exam. The questions are categorized by task type, task 1, and topic, task 2, and cover a good range of topics covered in IELTS writing.
If you're looking to purchase any of the books mentioned in the show today, make sure you check out tiki.vn. You'll be able to purchase all of those books with a click of a mouse, get them delivered to your door, and enjoy reading all of these amazing, amazing stories and amazing wisdom. Thank you, Ben, for all of your wisdom this episode.
No problem, you're welcome.
Vietnamese women have always traditionally been very, very active. Even during the war, women participated in the war. Women fought. Women also created products and food for the army. Women also marched and hiked in the woods and forests. Women were guerrillas. And even during peaceful times, Vietnamese women had always been a major part of the workforce. So I think in Vietnam, when it comes to women and equality, women do have a lot of equality with regards to men. We have women representatives in the government, and that is, I think, is an amazing thing. Now, when it comes to women and calling the shots, I do think also Vietnamese society expects women to also still have these domestic roles in the family, cooking, taking care of kids, and the woman still needs to have all of these womanly behaviors. And this is an age where we're always trying to balance everything. How do we balance our femininity, and how do we balance us going out there and being ambitious and ruling the world? And I think as a woman who is 14, 15 years old, you're probably focused on your education. As a woman who is 20, 25, you're focused on how do you develop your career. And then as a woman who, when you're 30, 35, then you're like, okay, am I gonna have a stable family at this point in time? And then women in their 40s and 50s, it's like, okay, how do I now enjoy my life? So as women, we all have different priorities in life. But at the end of the day, I'm still super glad that as Vietnamese women, we have a lot of room to call the shots. And we always have a lot of support as a society to help us even be better and to help us be equal. So that's great. That's just my thoughts. If you disagree with me, and if you do agree with me, make sure you let me know and make sure you let us know. We'd love to have a conversation with you to help people call better shots and for people to call even bigger shots. Until next time, bye! Ciao, ciao!